They do this to like 150 girls a day. So even if it's a small percentage, it's like if you put 1 drop of food coloring inside of a bottle of water, the whole thing's gonna be fucking red or blue or whatever color it
Stay
is.
strong.
So these guys, they do this. It's a multiplier, right? That's it. Go to HR. They do it every day, all day. Yeah, this is all they do. Those 150 girls block them? Yeah, but 1 out of that 149 block them. 1 of them says something to them. And they find out later on maybe it was a guy. But it was a guy pretending to be a girl and he was gay. But maybe they never figure that out and they assumed it just didn't work out. And that's the reason why they keep doing it. They're chasing that high.
Wearing flip-flops and gym shorts at uni yesterday, sitting on the floor with her legs open. I went home and pooped off 6 times in a row thinking about her feet and her... Woke up today, went to pee, and noticed that a chunk of skin on the back of my knee is coming off.
That's it. That's it. Men need to be born into prison and then earn their way out.
There's probably something terribly wrong with her.
That one hurts.
Yep, they already are. No, this is insane. Doesn't happen if you aren't super hot girl, though. I haven't gotten hit on or a message from a guy I knew or worked with. Maybe I'm super ugly then. I think that if you are a girl and you're posting photos of yourself on the internet, you're gonna have people stalk you and say weird stuff to you. Like, I can't speak for everybody, obviously, but I can say that out of all the girls that I've talked to that have played World of Warcraft, every single one of them has had multiple weirdo stalker stories. Multiple.
Quantum magic.
My colon? I've been told to seek medical advice ASAP for several months, but it will probably figure itself out one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you should probably go to the doctor if you don't want something bad. I wish older women would pee on me. Oh.
God, the men you have sent to protect us are on Reddit fantasizing about getting pissed on.
Discovered cartoon pornography at the age of 8 and like
Cartoon porn at the age of 8, and my life has sucked since then.
I am at your
sucks since then. My mom caught me dry humping my torn mattress to some AI person and hasn't looked at me in the eyes since.
Still, I'm trying to watch time. Take your squirrel back to a tree.
This guy could be the next vice president.
Everybody needs a hand.
I haven't even touched a girl intimately yet, and I've lived half my life. I'm 39. Okay.
Stop them in their tracks.
I mean, first of all, bro
People say it is fake. Everybody says this shit's fake. I don't think you understand how degenerate a lot of people are. I really don't. And honestly, this food, like if you made me eat this, I'd probably fucking die. I would probably just fucking die.
Second of all, men, you really gotta stop the
Yeah.
You gotta stop it, or like just way less of it. It's not good for you. Listen, I used to be super poked a few years ago. Not anymore. It's gotten so bad, especially after COVID. I feel like it got so much worse. I feel like addiction just kind of exploded in the past few years. Even too, as we have previously discussed. Like, sure, everything is fine in moderation, blah blah blah, but I feel like there's just like no moderation anymore. I feel like
Well, nobody wants to be moderation. Yeah, they don't want to moderate themselves. They want to get addicted to jerking off to like anime girls. And that's like what they do for like 9 hours a day. Like they don't have a job and they're not going to school. And so they're just living at their house, jerking off to anime girls. And it's like, if you do that, the thing is that like, that sounds like a good thing, right? But imagine like, that's all you do for 2.5 years. And at the end of that 2.5 years, the way that you see the world is going to be different. It is. It's going to be a lot different.
everyone is just a gooner, and it's making everybody depressed. We're just like a society running on like perpetual post-nut depression. Afraid to talk to women at work in case they allegation max.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that before.
Just feminist max and Mark is a normative. I asked a girl out at work and she reported me to HR. I think I'm gonna lose my job. See, this is sad. Like back in the day, it was totally acceptable to flirt with your coworker.
It's normal. Like, there's nothing wrong with asking a girl out at work. The problem is doing it 17 times a month. That's the issue. Like, if you ask a girl out at work, the odds are you're probably not going to get fired for it unless it's like your first fucking day. But the issue is that if you're doing it like multiple times, that's the issue.
Ask her on a date, whatever. Like, so many people's parents.
You sure? I
met
think so, yeah.
because they worked together, because they were coworkers, and they flirted, and they hung out and stuff, and now it's like not socially acceptable at all to do that. HR culture has ruined the relationship between men and women in the workplace.
Well, so is social media. I think so too. And I think also the problem is that it's an overcorrection because, like, from what I've heard, this is, you know, my dad would tell me about this from like back in the day before these were the policies. Like, things were just totally fucking crazy. And so now there's like a massive overcorrection for it where like any degree of this behavior is instantly problematic instantly. Yeah, slapping asses and stuff like that too, right? I used to work at Arby's when I was 17. One time a 30-year-old guy gave me a letter talking about how I look and I should call him. After that, he kept coming every day I worked and he'd try to talk to me and stay in the parking lot and stalk me until I got off of work. Yeah, it's about right. Yep, I believe that. For sure.
HR, go talk to your crush. I got called into HR because apparently it's not okay to jokingly ask my coworker if I can gargle her period.
Okay, that's probably. I hope that's a joke.
Okay, never mind.
I hope that's
Never mind. Don't do that. Don't do that. No more talking to women at work. No more talking to women at work. No more talking to women in general. Total ban on talking to women until we figure out what the hell is going on.
I've been doing
Downloaded
this.
Tinder
Right
and got
here
2
can make
matches in
all the
5
difference.
days. F my stupid, ugly life.
That's
okay.
pretty good.
I will bring peace to this universe, no matter the cost.
What do you mean? That's good. What are you talking about? What the fuck?
From what I know from like men who use the apps that I've talked to, that's actually really good. Oh my god.
Yeah. How to spot a fake? Oh god.
Also mad at him in the replies. You get a match in less than a week and you complain? Stop humble bragging. I've gotten
Zero matches. Oh god. Ask you, Yuki-chan. I believe you.
matches in 3 months. 2 matches in 5 days?
Why
are you even here? My culture is not your costume.
Oh,
Fake
God.
self, go outside and get your life together. A true cell gets 0 matches. That's
True.
2 people. How many do you need to be satisfied? Mod,
Yeah, exactly.
take his balls away. 2
Man.
matches.
The battle
Head on
starts
over to
in
Kitchen
5,
Chads. Oh
4,
god, what is
3,
Kitchen
Oh,
Chads?
God.
Hold on. Kitchen
1.
Chads. It's real. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love cooking for my girlfriend with the money I make from my job.
Yeah.
Made some ratatouille because I like the movie. Might go for a run later. I have had
What the fuck is
like
that?
the Krusty Krab across the street from the chum bucket.
Yeah.
This is evil. This is diabolical. Okay, let's go back to kitchen cells. We're done here.
Somebody said the 2 people that he matched with were just fuck. Yeah, he matched with Bonnie, Blue, and Amaranth. All these guys are losing their mind over it.
Haven't felt the touch of a woman in months.
Yeah.
Months? Fake cell. Try 25 years. Boo, fake cell. Fake cell spotted. Went to the drugstore and the girl cashier was nice to me. Started stuttering, so she kind of giggled at me, so I left immediately. Felt so humiliated.
People are gonna probably be mad at him for this post.
Stop myself to get home and masturbating to the idea of her suffering. Masturbating to the idea of her suffering. Incredible. This is
Amazing.
some classic.
Yes.
Classic incel. I like how there's just like a bunch of people in the comments like, dude, what the bro, get some help.
fucked up.
Fake cells
Yep.
when a real incel pulls up. A girl I know has recently added me to her close friend stories. Well, today she posted a poll.
Is that the thing on Instagram where like the thing is green? That's it? Oh. Huh, okay. Well, alright. I didn't even know that.
Healing power.
Asking what color she should paint her toenails, and apparently my answer was, quote, too specific. I'm no longer in her close friends list. I once walked up to
I feel better already.
a woman I went to school with since middle school at a bar. Before I could even finish saying hello and asking how she was, a guy put himself between us and asked her if she knew me. She said no. So they married me. 22, no driver's license, no post-high school education, never had a job, never kissed a woman, and had horrible social anxiety.
Nice.
Flying a bungalow up in I'm
Fucking.
Albanian. I'm
That's pretty bad.
half Jewish, half Indian. It was over at birth.
It was over at birth with just a fucking raw ass avocado. Is that an avocado? I don't even know what these things are. I think that's an avocado, right?
Cosmic might returns.
It is? Wait, really? I got it! Okay!
You didn't have to tell us the half-Jewish part. We could tell by the circumcised avocado. 5'3". Finally got the confidence to walk up to a girl at a bar and she bent down and asked me where my parents are.
Wow.
Judging by what we have seen around this subreddit, some guys would be totally into that.
Exactly, yeah.
Some men are drowning, while others die of thirst. I should clean my bathroom, but without the drain flies, I have nobody left to keep me company. Asmund? Gold is that?
That's how I'm
Ultron, but your methods are effective. Born again!
I was like, hey, I remember seeing this photo. That's how I remember seeing it.
Drain flies, I have nobody left to keep me company. Asmund Gold, is that you? You don't just have your drain flies.
I don't have any drain flies. Actually,
Will serve me well.
so
This is real firepower!
Healing power.
I have one of these. And so if there is anything that like that shows up, I just zap the fuck out of it. And I have had situations, and you can tell, right? You see that light come on? That means it's time for things to fucking die. And so anyway,
My friend.
yeah, Hassan? Yeah, I Hassan zap these fucking bugs. I do. And the big ones, sometimes you gotta hold them down, and you gotta just you gotta do it for a while, and they'll start like smoking, smoke will be coming out of them. They'll be like, you just keep doing it, bro.
This artifact is quite powerful.
You just keep doing them. You have a dog? No, I don't. Should I get one? And dribble them? Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's it. It's kind of like pressing a, what do you call it? Like a pancake or something like that, right? Or a waffle. Like it's a waffle press, and you just press them down, and you just zap them. Like I remember it was so bad that it actually, my room started to smell like dead animals because I killed so many of these flies. There was that many of them.
Look, you have a little ant friend too.
The moon haunts you!
Another epic victory!
See? It's not all bad. Made peach cobbler. I have a date tomorrow. Maybe my femcel gay life is over. A woman going on to a incel subreddit talking
Yeah, this is, you're literally asking for trouble.
about how she has a date tomorrow. This is just evil. This is just like eating a 5-course meal in front of a starving African child.
That's
What
right.
are you doing, bitch? I'm a femcel loser who can't talk to people and spends all her time playing games. Guy I had a crush on from high school told me he wasn't interested in a relationship, but I think he's lying and didn't want to tell me he's not interested because I'm fat, chopped, and broke. Fuck my fucking loser virgin life. I'm a
I think that a lot of the posts by these girls are actually
your
guys
hero.
that are using
Or
girls'
villain. I'm not
photos
judging.
so they can find guys to talk to from
don't
these
have to be a
incel
witch to
subreddits
find the magic
and then
in this
manipulate
world.
them into
But
giving
it
them
does
money.
help.
Because if I didn't have any money, what I would do is I would scam guys out of money. It's so easy. I've seen so many girls do it. It's like, why can't I pretend to be a girl and do it myself? I mean, I know what guys like. I'm a guy. I'm an expert here, right? I mean, so like, I'm basically, I'm the imposter. Yeah, sure. But like, it would work.
I've made my
And you
share
have
of
AI.
mistakes.
Yeah. Aren't you doing
But
that
am
now?
fighting.
I
Don't
should.
have to be a witch to
Maybe I
find
should
the
make a
magic
VTuber
in this
avatar.
world.
See how it
But
goes.
it's 30 seconds before you
Can you
attack.
scam me? And
Get
then,
ready.
yeah, what's scary is the subreddit might be a breeding ground for school shooters. Oh, I think that's just Reddit, right? But like, yeah. Why is being a virgin a bad thing? I think that, well, I mean, what do you mean, why is it a bad thing? Were you just fucking born yesterday? Like, do we really have to go through fucking 50 years of social fucking context for you? Like, do you really want to pretend like you're gonna go out like it's like fucking you're getting ready to go to the Crusades? Just, I don't think it's a big deal. I don't care about this. Like, I mean, whenever you're a young guy, I think that it matters a lot, and then as you get older, you just don't even think about it anymore, right? And I think that, like, especially, it's weird because, like, if you've been with a girl before, I feel like you just stop even thinking about it being a problem. Like, you don't even look at guys that are like that haven't been with a girl. You don't even, like, for me at least, right? Like, I don't even think about it at all. You stop caring? Yeah, so it's weird because, like, whenever you stop, it's not like, oh, okay, well, now I get to look down on people. Yeah, no, I just stopped giving a shit. Am I the only person that's felt that way? It doesn't even register anymore? Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Yeah, you care until you do it. Who cares, for real? Other people that have the problem. That's it. No, I agree, yeah. Serious question, did Jesus die a virgin? I don't know. That's a really good question.
I'm about to turn 25 and I'm still a virgin. I feel like it's too late now. Everyone knows more about intimacy than I ever could, and no one will ever want an unattractive, inexperienced femcel.
Absolutely a guy pretending to be a girl to farm incel guys to give her money and then create photos for, yeah, bro, these are no, because there are no more girls on the internet. Any girl that's looking for genuine interaction on the internet is a man who gives them tactics. Okay? And if she's attractive, then it's definitely a guy.
I'm just a lonely virgin incel gamer.
Why? It's a guy.
Bro,
it's a
why
guy.
is there women in this
Because they're not women. They're guys farming the other guys because they know how easy it is to get money out of them.
Did he do it?
That's the reason.
Come in, they gentrify everything. Sports, politics, board games, video games. Now the incel community, the hating women club is being invaded by women. Is nothing sacred? There's no such thing as a female incel, okay? There's no such thing as a heterosexual female incel. Dating and finding a relationship, different. But any man would. It doesn't matter how fat, how socially awkward, how ugly. Men couches, men rotisserie chickens. You can find men.
Never mind.
All female incels are volcels. Yeah. That is my hot take. I know I'm a fake cell.
You guys might not know. Volcels is voluntarily celibate. That means people that can have a relationship and have sex, but they choose not to. This is like, you know, like intermediary loser internet lingo that a lot of people might not be aware of.
But I truly wish I was a true cell. The only woman who truly loved me for who I am is gone from this world, and I'm the only one to blame. I wish I was a true cell so I didn't know what true love felt like.
Oh my god.
Sometimes when I cook, I like to imagine I'm cooking for a loving partner who's excited for me to join them at the table.
That's pretty good.
But then I turn around and nobody's there, and a little part of me dies inside. Every night I go to sleep thinking about kissing a girl just once. Another man's child has the eyes of the woman I love. She's better off with and soon enough, she'll forget the color of my eyes and the way we laughed together. While I'll be trapped in those memories forever.
Bro, like, what are you doing? Like, just cook your steak. You didn't even cook the meat. What is wrong with you?
I like how on the women posting Elle's video, it was like, I got drunk and peed on my date, teehee, and the men posting Elle's video, it's like, I want to myself.
Yeah.
Like, this shit isn't even funny. I don't even know what to say to this. This is just depressing. Black bean chili. Mom would hit me until I stopped crying as a kid, and now I'm an emotional wreck to any girl I talk to. Oh god, I'm so sorry. I need a girl to beat me like my mom did. Oh. Freud fell. I've given up on getting women. My goal now is to get as fat as possible. Friend of
That was a little messed up there. Thanks.
I guess he must be the moderator.
the mindset I look like a serial killer, but not a hot one. What's up with women in the serial killer? Okay, for all my weird flaws, At least I do not have a serial killer, okay?
Women like serial killers because they're hyper assertive. They give them a sense of, I think a lot of people like the idea of the loss of control, and they like there's like a sexual arousal that comes with the loss of control and an implicit threat of violence that some people get off on, and I think that's the reason why they like it. I think the term for it, how do I know these things? Because I'm on the internet a lot. It's Kristen Blue. That's the term, I believe. I could be wrong, but in terms of internet degeneracy, I rarely am.
But I do not have. I can't stop having homosexual fantasies about me and my classmate, and I wake up with a boner every morning. The cold showers are not fun. I'm not gay, but imagining how slim his legs are makes me feel hot. I'm not gay, but I keep fantasizing about how soft and smooth.
Yeah, I'm not gay, but I keep thinking about men and jerking off to them.
Where there is evil in this universe, I will be there.
I'm not gay, but every single time I see a hot guy, I have to jerk off. Yeah?
Bro's legs are.
Is that
I was
right?
in the bathroom trying to eat a banana when two guys walked in and I could hear them kissing. I squashed my banana in anger because of the jealousy I felt. And to make matters worse, I think I grabbed the wrong kind of banana. Haha, I just accidentally squeezed my to the sound of two men kissing. I cook so
Sounds like you're gay.
often for my roommate that I've started to feel like his boy wife. Maybe in another life I was a
Wait a minute, what?
Even
I cook so often for my roommate that I've started to feel like his boy wife. Maybe in another life I was his gatherer trad wife and he was my Chad Hunter husband. Is it time to
I
start?
do think that once we abandon the flesh and we completely embrace the digital world, I think that there will be a lot of people who choose to be women and they just want to be housewives. And I think that there will be so many people that inside of this digital world will create such an abundance economy that polygamy will then be accepted once again.
This is real
I want you guys to put that for about 10 years from now.
I have smashed
I'm being serious about this, bro. Like, I'm not joking. This is where I think I'm Damn, another novel idea? It's not a novel idea. This is just... It's that simple. How stoned are you? I just... What's the regular wife-to-boy-wife ratio to become gay? I think that it depends on if you know if they're... So, like, okay, so basically... It's like... Okay, think about it like this. If you...
Control seized.
It's like the robot thing, right? It's like if you have sex with a robot that's being controlled by a dude, but it's a female robot, it's only gay if you know that it's a dude before it happens. And it's kind of gay if you know that it's a dude after it happens. But I think that if you never know, like it's don't ask, don't tell. You just never know. You never tell people. You never break character. That's what it is. Like if you're a cute anime girl or something like that, never tell people you're a girl. Just don't do it.
Femboy medicine? Sometimes I have inappropriate thoughts about other men and I hit myself in the head repeatedly.
My favorite part about this is the metaphor of the sausages that are locked inside of a fucking bag.
quantum magic.
Just open the bag, bro. It's your destiny.
Men out here fighting demons. And the
Just open the bag, man.
God, nobody gives a shit you're gay anymore. That's basically like being straight nowadays in the world of
the internet.
Demisexual gender goblins or whatever. You're good, bro. Just don't be a furry. Went on Grindr to see if I was lovable and they rejected me.
That's bad.
Ejected on Grindr? That's impossible. Dudes will literally hit up someone on Grindr before the person even has a profile picture. They're just like getting to the end of the
Hey, bro, like, that doesn't matter.
You wanna bang? I swear to God, talk to any gay male friend.
Yeah.
They will say the same. The gay male community is what all of human sexuality would look like if women were not the gatekeepers of sex. And it's horrifying. I've said...
I actually, the thing is that, like, growing up, I always wanted to be gay. Because I thought women were annoying. And they didn't like me. And so I was like, well, my life would be so much easier if I was gay. That way I would not have to be thinking about this fucking issue all the time. But then I got older, and some of my friends, you know, turned out to be gay, and I met people that were gay, and then they would tell me about situations, and I was like, oh my god, this is just as bad. It's even worse in some cases, yeah. Not only you, I'm being serious. But I confirm, no, I'm not, right? But like, if I was, hey, it is what it is, right?
Before that, hookup culture is basically straight people culturally appropriating gay culture, and it's been a huge disaster for society. 18 now. I haven't seen my friends in months, and all I do with my time is work at my job. Welcome to being an adult, unfortunately.
Yep,
Welcome
it's
to
gonna get worse.
45 years of your life.
It's about to get a lot worse.
People in the comments like, imagine having a job, you have friends.
Wow, you have friends.
This guy is doing better than like 90% of this subreddit, and he's only 18. It's never been less over for someone.
Yeah.
I'm only 16, and I've already wasted.
I don't know. I mean, like we had people that were friends. Like there was one guy, he would play video games with us all the time, and he went out and he went on a shooting rampage. And this was in high school.
The cosmos heals.
Yeah. Like I mean, this is everybody. Yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody had friends in high school, right? I'm only 16. I've already wasted my entire life.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Maximum pulse!
Entire life. I'm gonna turn 18 in a few days. I'm below average in everything. If you're
Yeah.
17 years old, you're basically a child. You are a baby. What are you doing on the incel subreddit? All these people like, oh.
The reason why is that I think that like, so this is the issue, is that like young guys, especially like 16 to 18, feel like, especially like, you know, junior and senior year of high school, you see like a lot of your friends that are beginning to like go down a path in life. And if you're a conscientious person, you can predict what's going to happen, right? So like a lot of my friends that I went to high school with, you know, ended up like marrying the woman that they were in a relationship with whenever I knew them in high school, right? Like this is very common, it's very romantic, it's great. This is a best case scenario in my opinion. And so in a lot, they start panicking, right? And so then they see other friends of theirs, you know, working at, you know, maybe like a family business. And then they see other friends of theirs getting accepted into a college. But then here they are, and the only thing that they got accepted into was the new Warcraft guild. I'm not speaking about anybody in particular here. And, you know, it gives you a degree of anxiety. It does. Because you're like, holy shit. Like, everybody else is doing all this stuff with their life, and I'm not fucking doing anything.
I'll take zombies over
that's a problem.
16, oh, I'm 17. Is it over for me? This was me at 16, okay? Quoting Invader Zim, going on newgrounds.com, and now look at me.
17 and still doing Invader Zim? I thought you were supposed to stop that once you got into high school. Oh my god.
You know, on second thought, I am exactly where someone like that would end up, aren't I? Never mind. What I'm trying to say is...
Yeah, every goth and emo girl in my high school moved from Invader Zim to, you know, either one fucking, you know, My Chemical Romance or something like that. Like, we had a lot of emo and goth girls and people in my school. Like, it was very common, I swear to God. I remember this is like a core memory of me being in high school. And it was this guy, or I think there was a guy that was dragging his girlfriend along by a collar with a chain attached to it. And the girl had a furry tail behind her. And she had those Heelys, you know, the shoes with the wheels on them. And he was dragging her along to the next class.
This is the place to watch. Slice and dice.
That was my high school, and this was normal. This was totally normal. Nobody even thought about this. It wasn't even a big deal. It was just like, oh yeah, there's Fred. Did he shock her? I don't know, man. Yeah, it was surprisingly common. Yeah, still listening to MCR. Yeah, I am too. But it's just funny.
It's not over, okay? It's never over, but it's especially not over when you are that young. It's not like you're 36 or something.
Yeah.
A pretty girl sat next to me on the bus.
I'm 35!
I'm 36. Oh.
Wait, what?
Oh.
That's not so good. Innocent, thanks for
Sorry.
sharing.
Spent my last $10 on OnlyFans. Here's my dinner. Why would you spend money on some...
Why would you do this? So here's a little trick that you can do, is you just search a girl's OnlyFans name, and then you type after that. That's it. That's literally it. Like, this is like a cheat code. It's like a universal cheat code. What? What is wrong with you? Like, you're paying money for this shit. And again, I don't feel bad for saying this because everybody's been talking about using ad blocker on my YouTube videos for 10 years, okay? So, you know what? Too bad. That's what happens.
Stupid people. When you could spend money on a different... Me. I won't get naked or talk to you, but you can support me on all patrons get the uncensored version of every video, so you can hear me say, link down below. Much smarter way to waste your money, if I do say so myself. Anyway, obviously, many of these people are being silly, they're being tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, I'd say about 10 to 20% of them are joking. But here's how you know that it's not all a joke. Is how vicious and mad they get whenever one person isn't like them. It's like some guy says he has a friend, and like they all start hissing. Like that's not all a performative community. It's not. That's not.
Real actual incels probably don't hang out much on Reddit. They're not out here posting like this. I just thought this was funny and goofy. That has been my whole channel. I find something funny, I bring it to you.
It's nuts. The people that are into this kind of stuff, and like the incel issue, as I said, there are two groups of people in the entire world that cause all of our problems. Karens and incels. Karens, I think, generally create the incels, but they both naturally occur inside of nature as well.
I'm like a cat bringing its owner a dead mouse as a gift. Here you go. What is your biggest L? Maybe I'll make another video like this where I just read.
Let me think about that for me.
Over there.
Man, I would really. That's really hard to think about. Because there's so many possibilities, right? It could be. Wow.
Impressive. But can you
I feel like there's a lot of these. Exactly. Yeah, drinking, smoking.
One head's audience posting their L.
That's a lot. Being born?
Very soon with a
I'd have to. Yeah, I really need to think about this. I do. Who's in that mount? Dating a stripper? I've never dated a stripper. I had a friend that married a stripper. Was that his biggest L? Might have been. He spent a year thinking about it. Yeah, sure, right? Yeah, exactly, right? People farm the fuck out of this shit. There's the video. Give it a like. I've watched a lot of Shoe on Head videos before. I think that they're very funny. And I even got mentioned in the video. That's nice.
The champion has fallen.
I called this out a while ago, and I'm glad that some people are starting to realize this. But basically, all of these protests, if you guys notice this, that it's just full of a bunch of old retards. Have y'all seen this before? Protests full of old retards.
Sorry for the strange setup, but I'm obviously travelling at the moment. Sorry for the echoing here. There's nothing I can do about it. But I wanted to talk about the No Change protests that happened a couple of days in America, because these protests boomer-tastic, and the whole thing seems to have gone off about a bridge, and genuinely so we're told by the BBC millions the anti-Trump No Change protest. You may have seen people saying, well, they're using recycled footage.
They should have turned up the vote.
2017, which they probably were. But I suspect these were quite large programs because this is, as far as I can tell, the hippies of the 60s coming up to whine about things.
These are the hippies that complained about things in the 60s. This is their one final act of defiance. This is the final gift that they give to us. Complaining in the streets about Donald Trump. That's it.
Folks simply
The last push, their last
them
dance.
and their radicalized grand
Well, literally, they're
thing
dancing.
about this.
Yes.
And so this genuinely news. But as the BBC says, huge crowds took part in the No Kings protests against President Donald Trump's policies in cities in the US on Saturday, including New York, Washington DC, Chicago, Miami, and Los
Yeah, no,
Angeles.
this problem's not going to exist. It won't exist in 10 years because they all be dead, right? I mean, like, just in 10, 15 years, they're going to be dead. So it's going to go away. But the problem is that my generation, the millennials, are going to grow up and be as insufferable and annoying as the boomers. So the millennials will replace the boomers in being this insufferable, annoying group of people. It's going to happen.
So yeah, major weapons so, thousands Times Square, the streets all around, with people inside, and slogans like democracy, not monarchy. Oh, it's impossible. What are you talking about? Trump is constantly engaged in a legal court with the judges in the United States who are contesting his abilities and weighed up the Constitution. In fact, some would say it's becoming a shit because it is presenting legal challenges that ought not to be legal challenges. And in fact, many of the things that are going on, such as the overturning of Roe vs. Wade, were not Trump's decision. They were some
Right.
that is outside of the
Well, to be fair, I mean, Trump did appoint the people that made that decision. I mean, so like it's partially true, it's partially not true. I think the reason why, so the big reason why I think that it's a lot of old people is because old people still believe mainstream media. Like a lot of normal people have moved past mainstream media, but old people, you got to remember that a lot of scams and things like that, they intentionally target old people because they're dumb. They're dumb, they don't understand technology, they don't understand the current world, they're 70 years old, they understood things 50 years ago, that was a long time ago. Now they don't get it. And so they get scammed constantly. That's just how it is. And so they're sitting there, and they're the ones that are keeping mainstream media on life support. And when they're gone, mainstream media goes away too. Because they're not bringing in a new audience of people. They're just doubling down on farming boomers. They lived in World War II in Nazi times? No, they did not. They lived after that. The baby boom was after World War II. None of these people lived through World War II. Absolutely not.
decisions against him, in fact.
They lived in one of the most economically prosperous times in the entire history of humankind, and especially inside of America.
So this whole thing is just really, really funny.
No.
Because nobody is saying that Trump is a king other than a very, very, very marginal fringe on the right.
Well, just to make
Because
him upset.
I don't know
That's the
whether
reason why.
this is something that's self-evident from the name or something.
Yeah.
But the Republican Party is not a party of monarchy, actually. Donald Trump is just showing that you can be an effective right-wing or Republican executor and not a king. And this would be even more silly if Donald Trump was acting beyond his own democratic remit. But I don't know whether you remember, he won the House, the Senate, the popular vote, and the presidency.
Yeah, let's protest because we lost the vote. Yeah, too bad, huh?
The last election. So to argue that somehow Trump doesn't have a democratic remit for all of this would require you to explain why winning all those votes didn't matter.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's return to the BBC article, because like I said,
It's embarrassing.
this is funny. This is just boomer delusion. Several US states had mobilized
And
the national...
boomers read the BBC. Like, young people don't read this garbage. But these old people do. And they believe anything that they see on social media. They're the ones that are typing amen whenever Jesus is transformed into a shrimp. and he saved somebody's life from getting hit by a car. That's them.
Organizers said the events, which drew nearly 7 million people, were peaceful. I'm sure they were peaceful.
Yeah, one like equals one pray. This is what they do.
And a bunch of old boomers standing around with their stupid signs saying no Trump, we don't want this.
Yeah.
Well, too bad. Everyone else voted for this is what we get.
Yep.
Trump isn't fabricating powers out of nothing.
I think that there's also like a much larger generational problem where a lot of the people in the baby boomer like kind of demographic are not really relinquishing power and giving it up to the next generation. And I think that that's created a lot of resentment for young people because as young people want to move up inside of the workplace and take a certain amount of control of society because they've been part of it for a long period of time, they're not really given the ability to do that. And I think that makes a lot of them very angry, makes them very frustrated and angry.
And there are genuine problems when you go back to the city.
You know, even and it goes down to something as simple as like how many times have you heard, young people complaining about boomers buying houses for like $20,000 and then telling you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and go into the company that you want to work for and hand the manager your resume in person, right? Like it's just people that are giving advice for something that didn't work 20 years ago.
So why shouldn't Trump be able to do the things he's doing? And the answer is just literally, we don't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is. We don't like it because
That's
we're
right.
liberal boomers from the 1960s. And as far as we're concerned, history ended 50 years ago, and we haven't caught up to the fact that actually things are still going. In an interview with Fox News, set to air on Sunday, Trump appeared to address the rallies. A king? This is not an act. You know they're referring to me as a king. I'm not a king. Yeah, I imagine that he thinks that if he was a king, he wouldn't have so much institutional resistance. Because, I mean, like, take for example, the Russia get along in
Do we should have age maximums for political jobs? No, I don't think we should have age maximums. Like, you don't have to have everything mandated. But I think that you do have a cultural problem when certain things don't happen. Like, and the problem is that you can't solve everything with the law. There's a lot of things that you can solve with laws, but you can't solve everything.
It's
my outward line.
But technically, it's the Crown Courts. Technically, it's the Royal Navy, the Royal Army, the Royal Air Force. Technically, it is the King and Parliament that sits and governs over us. So technically, if you're a king, all authority actually flows from you. And theoretically, the king is, as the source of authority of the institutions of the country, can override the position. Of course, long conversation series of debate about that. Different Britain have a complex history of that. But the point being, there's just nothing about Trump that screams king, actually. To be honest,
they're just mad that he's doing things they don't like. It's really just that simple. And they want to go out there, and the thing is, that's the reason why they call it fascist. They say he's being a king or something like a dictator. The reason why is because that is a way that they can radicalize people against him. It's not about whether it's true or not. It's about whether it will upset people into being afraid of him and not liking him. That's the focus.
More screams.
That's what it's about.
Just
Exactly.
or someone like that. Yeah, not a dictator, not a king. Someone who's elected, been out of office, and elected again. In fact, turns out his own just a strong.
Do I say any opponent? Yeah, exactly. So basic game.
So this hysteria just absurd. Like from outside of America, these people seem absolutely pointless. Beth Zandler, in the Freelance Writer said she agreed with you at she was outraged and distressed. And
Every single person, except for probably this person that's dyed their hair, has gray hair. Gray hair, gray hair, gray hair, gray hair, gray hair, gray hair, probably dyed hair. This is it.
What's fascism, not authoritarian government happening under the Trump administration? I care about a lot about New York City. It gives me hope to be out here with many other people. But, I mean, what's your plan? You've got another, 3 years of Donald Trump. That's just him going to be doing stuff.
Yeah.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. Thank you, Mrs. Zaslav. I'm going to guess that it's me. But again, look at it. It's all grandparents. the liberal brave who have come out and been like, oh no, this wasn't the America I expected in the 1960s. I was listening to John Lennon's Imagine. Fuck John Lennon's. Fuck your Massimo Mascoli, 68-year-old retired engineer and resident of New Jersey. He brought the
Well, they're going to be busting retirement homes out to these protests just so they can fuck up our lives a little bit longer. Just so they can fuck it up and make it worse for like 3 more years. Oh, God.
He was concerned the US was following the same path that his home country did in the last century. Although I bet the Trump probably does that. He said he was worried about the Trump administration's immigration
Why?
You know, the real problem. Too many immigrants. We were sealing borders all out. Yeah, that was the problem.
With NGOs being shut down, they can't afford to bust them out? Yeah, I guess so, right?
We cannot count on the Supreme Court. We cannot count on the government until DNC. We cannot count on the Congress. Well, that's because they all have a Republican majority through Democratic means.
So let me get this straight. We can't use democratic means anymore. So we got outvoted, so we're going to protest against a king. Well, wait a minute. That's the only way that you would be avoided. Like, in order for you to get what you'd want, you'd effectively need a king. You see how, like, you want the opposite, actually. And again, once you understand, this is a big issue that a lot of people have, is that they engage individuals like this as if they're behaving in good faith. These people are not complaining about the secret police. They want to be the secret police. That's why they had COVID. These people are not complaining about censorship. They want to do the censorship. That's why they banned right-wing opinions in Donald Trump during 2021. These people are not complaining about no kings. They're complaining about not being the king. These people are not complaining about democracy. They're complaining about losing the vote. So these people are not complaining about defund the police. You don't want to defund the police. You want to be the police. You want to make the decisions yourself. So once you reframe a lot of these arguments in the way that they're truly intended, based off of what these people are actually asking for in their own mind, you'll realize that they're not really principled at all. These people just simply want the reins to power, and they're upset that you have them and not them. That's the main issue. That's the problem. They had no problem saying Russia rigged the election when 2016 happened, and they'll say the next election is rigged too. There are people saying that Kamala Harris, the election was rigged. It's all for power. There is no principle to this whatsoever. That's
but it's not like the Republicans couped the
are.
United States or anything. People just kept voting for them to take over various arms of government. Yep. And suddenly the Republicans are basically in control of everything. And all they can do is go like, oh, well...
Yeah, they don't want to protest these things. They want to have these things for themselves.
I guess we have the legislative, executive, and judiciary that are all against the American people right now. What do you think about? The American people voted for this. Mm-hmm. They're getting what they voted for. I mean, a miracle, frankly, in modern times. I would love a democracy that was actually capable of putting a government in place in Britain that would allow us to get what we voted for. That would be an incredible miracle.
Too bad.
And I can't even imagine how great that would be. One protester at the rally in the Capitol held up a sign that read, "I am Antifa. Chuck Epi, 76.
I love how these people think that the disgusting, these people make me look clean. Like, you look at these Antifa protesters, oh my god, it's like these people live on, it's like they live under a bridge. You bring out basically a collection of ogres, swamp hags, and orcs to go out and protest against protest for illegal migration. You know, Mordor lives matter. What the fuck is this? It's insane. And you have these people doing this, and guess what? Nobody likes them. Well, actually, that's what they are. Really?
said it was a loaded term and just meant he supported peace, daycare, livable wage, health. I think there might be slightly more to Antifa than I want good things. I think there might be slightly more, which is why there are a bunch of violent insurrectionists. CNN also had an amazing article, millions rally against Trump at the No Kings protests, and the organisers explained why. Oh, it was organised. Correctly, it wasn't just the sort of
Wow.
which means someone must have been funny, which is interesting. And applause doing that to celebrate her 70th birthday. The retired government worker so she
Retired government workers. Oh God, here we go.
in 10 hours from her hometown in Flint, Michigan.
10 hours.
In Washington, D.C. She felt compelled
Did they even figure out their whole water situation over there, or is it still poison?
after milestones, large demonstration. It's a scary time for America, and democracy is at stake.
Democracy is at stake. Yes, democracy is a problem when you lose the vote. It's still poison? Okay. So let me get this straight. This retarded old bitch drove over, and this is what I was saying, displaced bored swamp hags that should be selling mushrooms in a forest to random adventurers have now been given computers, government jobs, cars, and most importantly, and the worst of all, they've been given the internet. And we have been overrun by displaced, disaffected, bored swamp hags that are ruining our lives. That's it. That's the big problem. And they're orc minions.
Why? Like, everyone just keeps getting elected because and they're like, you know what, this is not democracy it's supposed to be. Democracy is when I get what I voted for, not what the other guy he voted for.
Yeah.
It seems to me that Trump is taking our government of democracy, dismantling it piece by piece, slowly but surely. We don't sit by and if we sit by and don't do anything about it.
Surely you're doing something about it.
What do you do?
Yes.
Look, seriously, in a couple of years, there'll be another election, and a new government will be formed. Like, this is going to carry on.
Yep.
Your local elections will carry on, your state elections will carry on, your elections for the police, the judges, whoever else you vote for. Americans do so much voting. That's all going to continue.
We love voting.
I don't know what will happen. So CNN tell us that the Trump administration and GOP officials have painted anti-Trump protests as the work of violent left-wing radicals, but the organization behind the No Kings events, the Indivisible Project, says it's committed to non-violent action. Should we look at who they are?
To be fair, I think that the No Kings protest was primarily non-violent. It's because these people can't be violent. They can barely even get around to begin with. They're all fucking 70 years old.
So they say they're like massive grassroots movement of millions of activists across every state.
If they could, they'd be starting
Partnerships
trouble.
between thousands of local autonomous individual and national staff. Well, who's funding it? I bet it's going to be Act Blue, isn't it? I bet it's going to turn out to be Act Blue that's funding it. Oh, I bet a huge amount of SARS money has been poured into this, hasn't it? I don't have time to look it up, but I bet I'm right. Feel free to have a dig around, folks. Apparently, Indivisible Project, which is a 501c4, I believe that is a non-profit, means that you're going to be able to actually find who's funded with this up. It's going to be benefit. It's going to be that way. It's not a grassroots movement like they claim, obviously. One thing we get to about this is that it's generally clownish, like we're kind of like frog costumes, lobster costumes, and other stupid...
No shellfish kings. And it's some stupid fucking... Jesus. I mean, it is kind of funny. To be fair, it is kind of funny.
But the war is far from over.
But this is just fucking sad, guys. It really is just fucking sad.
Fight harder.
Reddit revolutionaries, bro. Like, there it is. How much do you think they paid for the costumes? Probably a lot.
Like, things with silly signs, and it's like, eagle one, the sharp one. It's like, what are you going to do? Like, this...
Well, the implication is that, this is the reason why they're doing it, is that they think that by dressing up like they're from Chuck E. Cheese, that they will make it look like the police are worse for doing bad things to them. When, I mean, if you want me to be honest, like, whenever they tackle one of the people in those mascot things, I think it's so I do. It's just funny to watch it happen, right? It's the same as whenever a mascot does something on like a sports, you know, in like a sports field. They'll like, you know, eat somebody or something like that. It's just funny to watch somebody in a banana suit get tackled. Like, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter what side they're on. It's just funny to watch.
The fact that you have such a frivolous manner regarding progress makes me think, frankly, do you want to
No kings.
But can you repeat your success?
Oh god. Do you remember what I said? Displaced swamp hags.
Must prevail over death.
Not serious. If you can turn up and make jokes about the progress that's currently engaged in, I don't think you're genuinely in fear of losing democracy. I
got a
think
big
this
problem.
is just a thing about to have a good time and go, yeah, I'm a good people, we resisted fascism. How? Well, I was watching around.
Yeah.
I waved a little banner and had a crossed out crown on it because Donald Trump, famous for wearing crowns, is obviously a bunch of like woke lefty Hollywood types being like Pedro Pascal, Katie Walsh, and others attending.
Oh, yeah.
And they like complain they like defend democracy so people can keep electing people like Donald Trump.
I love how these people, especially Hollywood actors that try to talk about democracy while they try to wield their influence as, you know, these like super wealthy elites inside of the country in order to direct people to vote in the way that they want them to. But then whenever it doesn't work, despite their best efforts, they're trying to complain about democracy. You were actively trying to subvert democracy by advocating for people and using your position that has nothing to do with politics in order to influence democracy. But when it doesn't work, now democracy is at risk. It's just, again, that's what I said before. These people don't want to, they're not mad that Trump is getting rid of democracy. They're mad that they're not getting rid of democracy. They're the ones that want to get rid of democracy.
Obviously, Nancy Pelosi came out and broke a crown because that's so brave.
Tear off the crown.
Back to this one. You know, maybe Trump shouldn't drain the swamp after all, because I feel like ever since he started saying that, I started seeing this issue. Yeah, another one right here. But even the swamp don't want her? Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, she's so old. Yeah. It's just awful, man. It really is awful. You're saying to a redcoat's opinion on democracy? Do you know they still have a monarchy? Listen, you gotta understand something, okay? We don't have democracy. We have a representative. We have a democratic republic, okay? This is a republic. It's not fucking democracy. And if you look at, by the way, I can find this here.
I fear this struggle may be as eternal as I.
Take a look at this. I don't know if I can find some more of these here. I don't know where it is exactly. But, no, I'm not able to find the image I was going to show. But there's a lot of images and a lot of quotes from the Founding Fathers talking about how democracy can be a big problem. It's a constitutional republic. Yes, there you go. Democracy is the city as Greece? Yeah. Do you think it's the British again? Maybe, I don't know.
How many decades has Nancy Pelosi been in office?
Like 60.
For longer than most kings in history, right?
So let me get this. Yeah. So let me get this straight. So this woman has had a longer tenure than a king, and she's complaining about kings. That's crazy. Really? Like, I mean, think about it.
Pelosi has been such a fixture, and she's wealthier than most kings in history were as well. And
so she's been in power for longer than a king. She has more money than a king, but she hates kings. We gotta send him back to the swamp, bro. Like, we gotta do something about this.
yet she's like, yep, see, no monarchy, I just got elected. Over and over and over and over and over by the most reliable constituency that I'm going to be honest does kind of resemble a Cuban people. Don't worry, technically vote for Congress, and therefore I'm against kings.
Well, no, they want the fiefdom. They want the feudalism because the feudalism ensures that they'll continue to have the votes. That's the whole apparatus that they're building, that they're trying to build, is that they create a lot of social systems that make a certain demographic reliant on them, and then they hold those social systems hostage because the other party doesn't want them because they're just there in order to secure those votes. They're basically trying to create voting feudalism. That's the whole goal. No, the more I think about it, it's like, yeah, that's basically what's happening.
You also have the sort of concept of radical grandchildren fringe, the anti-far weirdos, who have things like Charlie Kirk had it coming.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is great. Enemy feminism. Feminism for the 99%. Unbuild walls. Palestine and Marxism. Man, politicians don't die like they used to. There's another disease bro. Remember what I told y'all? All swamp hacks. Every single one.
Assassination great again. And always have the sort of like, we are happy that people have murdered them.
Also, what I find to be really funny about this is any woman that's like baiting around for a political revolution doesn't realize what happens to women in political revolutions. Every single one in the history of revolution. Every single, there aren't any exceptions. They think it won't happen. Yeah, it's amazing that women would ever even consider wanting them. It's unbelievable. I guess it's stupid. I mean, you can't blame somebody for being stupid. What do you mean? Oh, I mean, I guess I could just say. I mean, I don't know why, like, I'm talking around it. Inside of every single political revolution, inside of the entire history, even inside of women, like, for example, the way that women were treated after the different countries in Europe reoccupied their countries after the Nazis. They were raped, murdered, beaten, they were forced into abortions, they were basically treated as slaves. Women inside of any sort of militaristic political revolution immediately become effectively currency. That's what's going to happen instantly. And it's happened inside of every single revolution. And it happened, like, why do you think that there are those statues in South Korea of those countries? Like, it's always been. And if there's a legitimate conflict, that's what's going to happen. Because it happens every single time. So it's a joke. It's a joke. It's insane. And that's why I think it's so ridiculous for these girls to be pushing for this, because it's like you have just no, like, what do you think's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? It's crazy. Are you talking about Eastern Europe or something? You mean those statues aren't there for foreigners to get lap dances for? No, they're not. People don't know what they want. Yeah, exactly. And no self-preservation. Yeah, they don't understand at all. Comfort women were raped by the Japanese, not through they're not Korean. I know that. That's the reason why the statues were real. I know that. Learn to listen. The statues in Korea, the atrocity happened from Japan, primarily. There's a whole lot of, like, I don't even, like, the inner Asian, like, fucking conflicts and racism between, like, China, Japan, Korea, fucking Vietnam. I know, like, 3% of this, okay? Like, that's on the other side of the fucking world, completely different race of people. I know it's not good. I'll tell you that. Some of them really don't get along. It's like some shit that happened 600 years ago. I remember 1,200 years ago that one thing happened? Yeah, fuck you. Like, I don't know why, but that's how it is. So, I just find it to be weird that you have all these women that are trying to advocate for a political revolution when if a political revolution happened, it would be the most horrifying, terrible thing to have ever happened. And also, like, men get killed, right? It's not like women have it bad and men have it good. Men are out getting killed, women are being raped. It's just, it's horrible. It's an apocalypse situation. It's awful. It's crazy that these people are advocating for something like that. They have no idea of the consequence of it.
I mean, that's democracy. That 100%. Nothing screams democracy like shooting a presidential candidate on the campaign does it. And the thing is about the being protest is that the grandchildren basically don't really agree with them on the nature of the American Constitution, American democracy. From a poll last year, when they looked at enthusiasm for the Constitution across demographics, obviously boomers, 65 plus and over, with 3/4 in favour, strongly favourable children. Then the Gen X was at 68.
I think the Constitution's wrong on tons of things. There's tons of amendments I don't agree with. Sure, yeah. Especially the way the Supreme Court interprets them. Absolutely. This is too broad of a question. Like what? Citizens United, cruel and unusual torture, not a fan of that. I think if you're on a public execute people, I don't think that's a problem at all. Especially for really bad actors in order to set an example. You've got, let's see, beyond that, citizenship for anybody that is born here, regardless of the parent's citizenship status. Absolutely not. Like those are the three things that I would say immediately I am against. Yeah,
but then the millennials, 34, only 41% have a strong favorability of the US Constitution. That's a weird way of not replicating your own ideology in boomers. Like, if you believe in this so strongly, why don't your grandchildren also believe in this? And the Zoomers themselves actually support writing a new constitution. Obviously,
there's nothing wrong with writing a new constitution. That's why you have amendments. The Constitution was written, made in order to have amendments and be a living document. Like, that's the whole reason why they reinterpret amendments all the time. Like, the entire idea that this is some sort of, like, stated thing. Like, for example, there are tons of things that, like, a random person can't have that are, like, military things that people can't have. So, like, there's limitations to the First Amendment, there's limitations to the Second Amendment, there's limitations almost to everything. And so, like, for guns, exactly, for voting, exactly. Like, there's a million things that different things apply to. So, this is, in my opinion, I think this is, like, such bad polling, because, like, it's such a individually based issue.
25% of boomers, 27% of the old generation,
aircraft carrier? Yeah.
47% of the millennials, but 50%.
It says my guns, Crybabies? Absolutely, I support everything.
4% of Zoomers, and I don't know if I'm just using this to run either, that reflects our diversity as a people. Boomers, you are out. It's over for you. Your beloved democracy, the Constitution, the Republic, all those things you're so concerned about, it genuinely is, as we so put, the real Constitution is described in the parts of that. And when your generation goes, the younger generations will not have the fondness for the 20th century America that you had during your youth. And that will all disappear. Things will change.
Yep, absolutely.
Because, obviously, the business, people think we
But you're against denaturalizing Crybabies? I mean, I'm talking about, like, future ones, right? I mean, obviously, like, if somebody was born in the U.S., like, 20 years ago, they've been a U.S. citizen for, like, 20 years because of the 14th Amendment. Like, applying rules retroactively to people generally is a bad idea. But, like, from my perspective, I would, from now on, no. New people. Yeah, exactly.
34% were like heroes and villains, so 1% were villains. The same sort of number of the older Gen X.
Yep.
The younger Gen X, about 50-50 on heroes and villains. And then the millennials are like, they're more heroes and villains than heroes. It's 5% or something, right? And the same sort of thing with the Gen Z. So it's not like the founding fathers and the love of them is even something that they have already taken from. They're like, well,
And this is also something that's important to keep in mind, is that whenever these people try to weaponize, figures like Thomas Jefferson or George Washington, they're not doing it from a place of respect to Thomas Jefferson or George Washington. They don't care about Thomas Jefferson or George Washington. But what they do care about is weaponizing your respect for them in order to achieve their goals. Would you support removing non-citizens from the census? Completely. If you're not a citizen, you shouldn't be counted in the census.
Fight harder.
And I don't think that, and the reason why is that the census is used in order to determine a certain amount of government representation. So if you allow non-citizens to be part of the census, you create an incentive in order to bring more non-citizens into an area and then increase the voting power of that area. And so you've now created a reward structure around adding citizens. The more non-citizens you have, the more power you have over American policy. Does that sound like a good idea? That's retarded. Of course you shouldn't do that.
and remember that the radical fringe of that 5% and people just straight up will.
Yep.
Will go out and tear down the statues as they did during the 20s.
Never listen to these people about, oh, I care about the Constitution. No, you don't. You care about it when you agree with it.
Plenty Black Lives Matter riots. It's not like these people haven't been radicalized. And this really is a product.
And also, another thing is them, trying to make an argument to authority through the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is not fucking very accurate. I like, Clarence Thomas is an OG, and I think some of the other ones are great too, but at the end of the day, it's not fucking geriatric. They also decided to, these are people decided to do Citizens United, right? You shouldn't look at them as some sort of divine authority. They're just 9 people that made the decision. And also, they're completely partial. They're absolutely partial. And if they weren't partial, then all of those people that are saying that the Supreme Court's impartial wouldn't have been malding because Trump got to appoint 3 justices. Yep.
If you allow it to just keep going and going and going, so it's trying to encompass all of mankind, and it seems all of its own wrongs are primarily the problem rather than things that are outside of reason, then, well, you get to that, don't you? And finally, you may have seen this amazing post going around. I posted it myself. A huge thank you to all the No King's protesters yesterday. I was very concerned the King was trying to put my place, but thanks to your tireless efforts, I am still your president, Rachel Ball. Unfortunately, that's good. Like I said, I posted it as well, and I'll take it down after this.
Sad.
I didn't realize.
He should have said it.
Sounded so much like something that would say. And frankly, he should have said it. He should have said it. He should have been like, yeah, no, I hate to have a king because I'm the guy in charge, aren't I? I don't want to be one of this. But yeah, no, that's a fake. It does probably accurately represent the current actually things, which is another thing about the sort of picture I used to try to go around. Yeah, okay, he might not say it. If he was inclined to think about the subject, he probably would say that. He probably would have said it. If you were asking, that probably would be the thing. Anyway, it's nice to listen to stuff that they have in the nursing home, isn't it?
Yeah, anyway, that's what I think the problem is it's the last gasp of relevancy from the boomers in order for them to fuck up society just a little bit longer, in order for them to enable their delusional, self-serving ideals while they live under more wealth and they have experienced more benefits than anybody else in society. And they've made all this money, and somehow they're still talking down to the young people. It's so fucking obnoxious. They're in their death throes. They are. They're in their death throes, and this is a problem that's going to solve itself. And there are a lot of based boomers out there, too. You can't forget that. It's not like they're all bad. They are not all bad. But some of the ones that are out there doing this are just displaced hippies, bored swamp hags, and old retards that should be sitting in a nursing home playing bingo rather than going out and fucking up society. You don't have any stake in it anymore. You're gonna be dead soon. Just give it a fucking rest and leave everybody else alone. You know? That's the way I feel about it. That's what I think. So yes. It's war from the attack on the outside. Fascism is violence from above. Revolution is violence from below. I mean, I think it's just retards, right? I mean, there's not really a lot of violence in a lot of cases. It's just retards. I'll give you guys the video link. You guys give it a like. I like Sargon's videos a lot. I agree with this one very strongly. But, yeah, I definitely 100% do. There is a gambling epidemic. And I'm talking about, like, bro, this is real big. And y'all probably know about this already, but we getting into it. So it's a big problem. What's new? Oh, I know. Trust me, it's been bad for a while. But right now, it's getting a whole lot worse. And so, yeah, you got XQC, Aiden, Drake, Nate Shot, Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan, Kevin Hart. Oh, man. You got all the boys. All right, let's get it.
Gambling has changed. Used to be you lose your money on slots in Vegas.
Yep.
Not only that, you can also bet on favorite points.
That's right.
If you're on all three in a parlay. Yep. You have to round up.
Gambling is more accessible now than it's ever been.
On video games,
Yep.
with those items. You can do it in Roblox or on regular phone. On meme stock, gamble is called. Gamble is earning.
Everything is a gamble.
With earning calls. You can do it on Roblox.
Yep. That's right. That's right. Yep.
You have to gamble on that. You gamble on crypto.
Yep.
You gamble on the champion of Farcoin coin. You can gamble on any of the posts the champion of Farcoin has ever made on whether there will be a customer. None of that. You can also just gamble directly within your banking app on a game of roulette.
Wait, there's a banking app that lets you gamble inside of it? That's like having a hospital sell crack.
Like the channel.
What?
Turn on sports.
Oh my god.
Kind of my favorite political show. Bet sports in the game.
Yep.
You feel being bombarded. You're gambling ads by every
That's
famous
right.
person you've ever heard of.
Oh yeah. And they pay so much money. They pay tons of money. Gambling sponsors pay so much money. DraftKings Sportsbook.
How
Yep.
have you get it? And is it a good thing that we're turning every spare moment of our lives into a game of chance? I'm betting no.
Yeah, it's just going to get worse, I think, too. It's going to get even more common. God damn. The gamification of America? I feel like I hear it's even worse in Europe. Is that true?
There are three things responsible for gambling becoming more mainstream, but the first, the biggest trend,
Good intro.
simply the mainstream becoming more like gambling. Silicon Valley learned a decade ago that gambling was getting incredibly good
In video games.
so they put everywhere.
Every video
They
game.
could stop online. Well, now you can spin a wheel to unlock prize.
Really?
Playing video games.
Yeah.
I didn't even use those items as purchase from in a casino we made a 3-part series
Yep.
about. Or if you don't have a problem with the bugs for adults. We've also put them in video games.
See, this is the sick. Like, I don't really care, like, if adults want to gamble, that's fine. I'm not really much of a gambler, but, you know, it's whatever. But whenever you're putting this stuff in for kids, like, I mean, you're spawn camping at this point, right? Oh my god.
And it got to start them young. Roblox is the largest game for minors, and they're stuck with randomizing good spots. But if that's fine, what about the third-party websites which, against POS, allow full gambling based on a kid's game?
Yep.
Kids gambling on the app.
Of course there are. He's 11 and he's getting farmed out for this shit, man. Oh my god. He's sitting there on his tablet losing his mom's money. Has your opinion of gambling softened over the last year? Yeah, at this point I feel like it's just such a it's such a ubiquitous thing inside of the culture that so many people take part in it that I just don't really give a shit about it anymore. I've realized that I have effectively won the fight, and gambling is just popular. Like, that's it. People like gambling. I don't believe that a lot of people do. The people love it. They do. And every single one is the same, too. Oh! Damn, bro, like, he just made some money. Good for him.
Website, Roblox Wild, before it got shut down. He shared data. It's like they made $5,000 a day.
It's pretty good.
Thankfully, this website got shut down, but third-party gambling sites.
Yeah, they're gonna just keep making more of them. I mean, like, there's a lot of people that want to make $2 million a year, so there's a lot of incentive to do this.
Copying casinos makes a ton of money.
Yeah.
And that's why we've been putting it into everything.
That's right.
Including our policy.
Oh, yeah.
Prediction markets are the answer to the question of what if it's a YOLO on election results of roll in.
Everything.
The biggest websites are Polymarket and Coinbase have explored the popularity during the American election cycle.
This shit went crazy, bro. The guy that ran Polymarket ended up having, like, his whole house raided and shit because of the predictions and everything. It was nuts.
But it isn't just major events that attract bettors. I was recently asked to investigate whether this was a suit that Zelensky was wearing.
It's a suit.
Why? Well, the prediction market spent $200 million in betting volume.
Rise, my fist of vengeance.
$200 million? Oh my god! Policy is now approved by the SEC and leaked on all 50 states, including ones where online gambling is banned. LOL, I'm up $700 on Polymarket. Yeah, everybody does this now.
On this bet, some of them were so mad that they decided, no, this is not.
I think that's a suit, man.
Whether you think it is or not.
That's bullshit.
Insane. And one reason for that is because these companies are exploiting loopholes that allow betting to be in states where normal gambling is illegal.
Right.
Because these companies say they're not a casino, so they don't fall under the same
prediction
rules.
market.
Why instead of having to be 21, you can now gamble at 18 on prediction markets.
Oh.
While there have been legal challenges,
There it is.
most of the major companies and Polymarket have recently brought on the president's son as an advisor.
Base.
It's hard to see how their economy is meaningfully regulated. Meanwhile, all the major betting apps are busy launching their own prediction market copycats to get around the same weak rules that we still have regarding betting. And don't even get me started on the other loopholes that are out there. Have you ever heard of the TikTok of sports wagering?
What?
This is Cheddar. We're building the TikTok of sports wagering.
Wait, so you just get to swipe and spend your money on gambling?
Legal.
Oh my
20
God.
States than DraftKings. Accessible for 18 to 21
Even kids.
year olds. Live, in-game, micro betting. Swipe to predict every moment of every play.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Wow.
If you missed it, Cheddar is a new startup trying
That's
to combine
micro betting.
DraftKings, TikTok, and Tinder features into one app. And one of the things they brag about is they're allowing 18 to 21-year-olds
Kids can use
as a
it.
competitive edge. Guys,
Can you imagine, like, how much money the first betting app is going to make that allows children to use it? Like, whenever you can find a way to legally advertise to 14-year-olds to start gambling, I mean, I think that might be the first trillionaire. It might be.
the untapped market of teenagers for gambling? Now, to be fair, Cheddar has not launched yet, but this is obviously the future we're heading towards, turning everything into a maximally addictive gambling product.
It's sports wagering with the pace of a slot machine.
Yeah. Isn't that the most dystopian thing you've ever heard? We're trying to turn sports betting into slot machines. I mean, the funny thing is this whole product is built around yet another loophole called a sweepstakes casino, and that's how they get around the 21-year-old age requirement. Here's how it basically works. Sweepstakes casinos claim that you don't actually need to purchase anything to play, so it's kind of not gambling. In fact, you can get free coins to access their games, but they also have
yeah, of course. But then there's,
second
I know
currency
about this.
which you can buy. Well, not buy. You get it for free when you buy worthless coins. For example, their website says if you buy 100 cheddar coins, you get 5 bonus cheddar cash. and that's usually what you can gamble with and redeem for real money.
Wow.
This is actually how Stake US works. If you didn't know, Stake International is one of the world's largest casinos, but they aren't allowed here in the United States. So they have an American arm, which is a sweepstakes casino, which has gold coins and stake cash. One Redditor explains
how does stake cash work. One stake cash is 1 USD.
Loophole really works. Quote, one stake cash is 1 USD. They only use gold coins because they need to say that you aren't gambling with real money to stay open in the US. Except, of course, you are actually gambling with real money. They just have a virtual currency workaround.
That's what I found to be so crazy about it, is that you have such an easy outplay for this, right? It's like you're just using virtual currency, but the virtual currency has the same value as actual currency, and you're buying the virtual currency with real money. I mean, for all intents and purposes, you are gambling with real money, but because regulators, and I think that just in general, they don't really give a fuck about this, so it's just getting worse and even more insane every year.
On which basically everyone has figured
Does
out.
it work? Yeah.
Some casinos are just kind of more honest about it than others.
Sure.
Cheddar's basically saying the quiet part out loud.
That's
They're
right.
going after 18 to 21-year-olds with TikTok, Tinder, sports betting at the pace of slots. And by the way, people are betting on their success. They're actually in a cohort of startups invested in by a Silicon Valley investment firm called A16Z. But if you think that's bad idea,
that's Andreessen.
now let's